Well, good evening. And when I say good evening, today is the day of bungee launching, and welcome to flight school. This is the second part of learning to fly with the gentle lady, and today I've chosen a very light wind evening. I've got my gentle lady all set up from our previous settings, and tonight we're going to be using the angelwingdesigns mini bungee, which this particular bungee is designed to go on this glider. So tonight I'm going to show you how to use this glider on the bungee. Right, bungee. Let's talk about bungee. This comes in a lovely little pack. It comes from angelwingdesigns, and I believe there are some updates to it, but basically we've got about 10 meters of a low powered elastic, and then some braided fishing line, and we also have a little ring at the end, and then about, I don't know, about 500 mil down we've got this lovely ribbon, and that was going to serve some purposes which we're going to talk about when we get round to doing the bungeeing. So let me talk you through how to set your bungee up, and then we will let's have some fun. Bungee! Right, so the first thing we've got to do, pick yourself a nice field. Try and do not fly anywhere near power lines or trees. Try and pick yourself a field that's got some nice short grass. The reason is we don't want this snagging on any grass or nettles, so if you can avoid that, that's absolutely fine. I know it can't be perfect, but you might find that your club does bungeeing and they'll have an area for you to be able to use. Now, the first thing we need to do is identify the wind direction. So the wind is blowing that way, and it's on my back at the moment. So we're going to be placing the stake to hold the bungee down is upwind, because we're then going to walk the bungee out, and then I'll show you how to do the launching. So let's go and show you how we stake this in. Right, so the the hook goes in at 45 degrees, not upright, not forwards. It goes in at 45 degrees, like so. Push that all the way in. You meet any resistance, find another little bit. Top tip, you've got your bag and your cable runner, just leave that there, because that's going to tell you where your hook is at the end of the day. The other good thing you can do, if you're not sure of the wind, when you actually get down to launch, if you just hold it like so, that will work as a windsock. So we've connected the hook, the plane is on, and one last thing with this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, when you're launching, don't have it down like so, actually have it high above your head. And also, if this is your first time and you're using the sticks on your right hand, get somebody to launch for you if you can, but if not, then use your left hand to launch the glider. So we're just going to literally launch that. Look at that in that breeze, and I'm just going to fly forwards, and actually now you'll see where we're slightly out of wind, so I'm now just going to come round. The glider's flying beautifully. It's a little bit fast, but that's not an issue. And I've just done one whacking great big circuit, which is fine. There you go, and then we've landed. Right, now then, we do have a slight breeze. So that breeze is causing the glider to actually kite up, which is absolutely fantastic. But just be aware, that's why I said come out on an evening when you haven't got a lot of wind. And also, if you come out of in an evening, you haven't got to worry about anything to do with thermals. Now, here's the fun bit, where you end up walking back to find the red streamer. So here's our streamer, lovely, and you see that's actually come round a bit more into wind, which is great because that's given us a better indication. So I've now stuck in 10 paces, Let's just get this sorted. Right, okay. Now, I'm just showing you what I'm doing at the moment. So, here we go. Here's 10 paces. So we've upped it a little bit. So, let's just say this is your first launch. She goes straight up. I'm just touching the rudder just gently. You just want it flying forwards, just fly forwards into wind. Just fly forward into wind, and then the tow hook releases. Now, there you go. You've got a lovely high flight. So my advice is, what you want to do to start off with is just do a lovely big circuit, but actually do your circuit, so a nice big circle, about halfway down the tow line, and then fly back into wind. Lovely. Now we're losing a bit of height, and then you want to come round again, so just a gentle left turn. This glider, I'm virtually hardly using any rudder, just bringing around, so we're coming round into wind, and then we're just going to leave it there, and look at that, she's going to land herself. Lovely. Right, and that's it. That's bungee flying. So what we're going to do now, that was 10 paces. That's what you've got to start saying to yourself, is before you actually launch, think about where you're going to go. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There we go. We've gone to 15. Now, this time, I'm going to do exactly the same thing. And this time, I'm just going to get you to do, tell you the other little tip. Just before you launch, just give it a wiggle. Make sure your gear's not accidentally switched off. So, we're parked into wind. The nose is just up slightly, and then we'll release. Look at that. I'm not touching the rudder at the moment. I'm not touching the rudder. Just touch a little bit of left there, tiniest little bit of right, and then that's just going to let that flown forward. Now, what I want you to do is just fly forward just a little bit. There you go. Just fly forward and then come round. Come round to the right, just do a lovely right hand turn, a complete 360, so you fly all the way around, and then just carry on, and then do that 360 again. So that's, I turned halfway down the line, and then you come round again. This is why you need to be wearing sunglasses if it's an evening. Look at that, what a beautiful shot. And then we're going to bring this forward, and then that's coming forward. Now, perfect. Absolutely perfect. And that is the basis of bungee launching. Now, obviously, why are we bungee launching? Because what we want to do, when we get better and we get more experience, we want to start looking for thermals. Well, we're not doing that today in today's course. Today's course is all about bungee flying. So, I'm going to go for a full whacking bungee. There you go. So I'm now gone to virtually, this is about 20 paces, like so. Let's have a little look, switch that on. Now, there you go. So, left hand, got it in my left hand. Just have a good look round, make sure there's, it's all safe before you launch. And then say, look at the nose angle. I've got the glider holding high above me. You don't want it down, because if you let go of it, you're going to end up whacking the back of your head and damaging the glider. So, here we go. So this one, I'm going to take off, and then we're going to fly forwards. And then we're going to fly forwards and do a 360 to the right, and then drift back doing another 360 to the left. So let me show you. So we go up, follow the glider. I'm not touching the controls at the moment. Look, look, going up on its own. Now then, that's now flown forward. Now, sometimes if you get a little bit of a whip up, you might have to just put a little bit of down elevator in just as it comes off the tow line. Now, so I'm now flying forwards. and I'm now going round to the right, just a gentle turn, like so. Now I'm going to fly across, like so, and then I am going to do a nice gentle left-hand turn, like so, and we've still got loads of height. So what I'm going to do, let's call this our downwind leg. So we're going to fly crosswind all the way across, until we think that that is low enough for us to come in for a nice landing, because we don't want to be walking anywhere. And then we're going to just let that float forward. Look at this, look. Haven't touched the controls. Beautiful. And that's so something we need to start looking at when you're flying, when you're getting more experience with your bungee, is actually flying. Obviously, when it's behind you, that's why I was getting you to do the turns in front. When it's flying behind you, the pitch control stays the same, but when it's flying towards you, the sticks are the left and right is going to be reverse. Let me just show you this now. I'm going to get some height. I'm going to come back over the over takeoff, and then just give you a little tip here. So there we go. Glider's ready. Give it a wiggle just to make sure everything's okay. And then we're just going to launch that. Look, this is the controls I'm using. I'm literally just guiding it about. And that's going to fly forward. There you go. Now, I'm just going to fly down here quickly. I'm going to come all the way downwind. Remember, when it flies downwind, it's faster. Now, when I come back into wind, the controls are going to be reversed. So, if my right wing is down, move your stick to the right. If your left wing is down, move your stick to the left. So, that's the idea of flying towards you. If it's flying towards you, and you're going to need to learn this when you're on your slope. So, if the left wing is down when it's flying towards you, so in other words, you're looking downwind, and it's the left wing is down, you just need to use the left stick to pick that wing up, and that's how you look at it. Right, hopefully you've had a fantastic evening's flying and you're going home in, well, the glider's going home in one piece. Now we've got to wind up the bungee. A couple of top tips here. If the grass is a little bit damp, just make sure you run your hands with a tissue or a cloth just to dry it off. The most important thing with the bungee is to make sure that when you wrap it up, don't pull it, wrap it up loose, because if you actually pull it up tight like that, you'll damage the bungee. And all you want to do is gently just wind it back on, but with no tension. Let's say if you do get a little bit of moisture on it, then try and wipe that off before you put it away. If you find that your bungee is not quite performing as it used to, you can get some special silicone liquid from Angelwingdesigns, which will improve the life of your bungee. But anyway, like I said, just start off with small hops. Just do 5-10 paces to start off with, and then just make sure you're flying in front of yourself to start off with. So like I showed you, just do those little circuits, and then perhaps chuck in a second circuit, and then practice the flying towards you. So just remember, if you're downwind and it's flying towards you and the right wing is down, Basically point the stick to the wing that's down and you'll find it'll center up. If you find yourself getting confused, just if it turns downwind, just keep the wings straight and let it fly downwind. Good idea. If you're new to this, there is a fantastic bit of software called for an iPad or for a tablet called PICASIM, and they've got some great software on there so you can fly it on an iPad or a tablet, and an Android tablet. You can pick a glider. You can actually practice flying towards you before you actually get out in the field. Anyway, thanks for watching, and hopefully next time is either going, depending on the weather, will either be flat field again, where we're going to be using the power pod for the gentle lady, or I'll take you to a slope. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.